Of all the practices and principles that I have studied and taught about and practiced myself over the last 10 or so years, the practice of being present is the number one thing that makes the biggest difference to our inner peace and happiness. And yet people find it so hard to do. And traveling very often makes presence easy because we are surprised and delighted. We are out of the familiar, and there's so much that lights up our senses, so much to see and smell and taste that's wonderful and different. And this experience of being so delighted and surprised, it kind of wakes us up and it helps us to be present. It makes it easier. But we can't do that all the time, of course. I've also noticed how quickly the brain just gets lazy. And if we've been in a town, by the second day we walk down a street that's becoming a little familiar, it's so easy to very quickly slip back into autopilot state, just automatic thinking and not being present, being all identified in the mind and with our thoughts. Presence is the most powerfully effective way to make the most of this precious life that we've been given, to live happier and more fulfilled, to not miss the wonderful little moments that make a good life, which, if we're caught up in our heads, we simply miss. Presence is also the best way to handle life's challenges and to manage uncomfortable thoughts and emotions. In this video, I'm going to share 2 of the best and easiest ways that you can practice presence, even if you found it too hard to do in the past. The first one is slowing down. Slowing down is the first way that you can begin to make it easier for you to practice presence, to come into the now. If you're rushing, it is quite difficult to be present. But if you allow yourself to slow down, even simple everyday tasks that you do, it is easier to come into the now and to be aware of what you're doing, to notice your sensory experiences. And secondly, getting out in nature. Today's the first time that we have really got out in nature for quite a few days, and we've spent time in some beautiful towns and driving through beautiful landscapes. But today we've really connected with nature, really walking in nature. And, you know, after just a few minutes, the sense of calmness and just natural presence with a lot less effort. It's just reminded me how much just getting in nature allows us to connect with presence, to become more calm and peaceful and present in a more easy way. And of course, being in nature is so healing, so calming in a lot of ways, but knowing how important it is to practice presence, I would just so strongly encourage you to think about those 2 things: slowing down in whatever you're doing whenever you can, and taking more time to get out in nature. So let's get intentional. Share in the comments below, what is your next nature experience going to be where you can slow down and be present? I'd love to hear from you, and let's inspire each other. Put it in the comments below now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so that you can keep enjoying the helpful content that I share and join me on my travel adventures. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.